Hello, and welcome to part 2 of the Career Kickoff resume writing assignment on formatting. During this video, we will cover the basics of formatting for your new college resume. Today, we will see how Wiley updates her high school resume. First, we will start with the contact information. At the top of your resume, you will list your full name, address, phone number, and email. Your name should be in large, bold letters, and underneath your name, list your address. You can use your home address or your school address, but only use one. Make sure to write out your full address. States are the only things that should be abbreviated in this section, so words like drive, avenue should all be written out. Include a phone number that has a professional voicemail set up. You'll also list out your email address. You can use your UConn email address, which associates you with one of the top public universities in the country and connects you to many employers that UConn works with. If you choose to use a personal email address, make sure that it's professional. Old email addresses such as sportsgirl20@gmail are no longer accepted. Also, if you have a LinkedIn account, we recommend including your personalized LinkedIn URL in the contact section of your resume. You can personalize your URL in the settings of your LinkedIn profile. Now that Wiley has updated her contact information, the next section of her resume is the objective statement. As a first-year student, you may not be applying for any specific position in particular. However, when you have something specific you're applying for, be sure to include an objective statement. It makes a good first impression and allows you to showcase your interests and skills to an employer immediately. An objective statement includes the following components: the type of position or the title of the position you're applying for, the company, organization, field, or industry you're interested in, and the top 2 or 3 skills you possess that are most relevant to the position. Generally, these skills can be found in the position's description. For example, if you're seeking to obtain a part-time summer job as a lifeguard, you might include skills such as teamwork, problem solving, and communication. These skills you have in your objective statement should showcase through your resume through various experiences, activities, organizations, and other opportunities you become involved with throughout your time at UConn. Next is the education section. List University of Connecticut, stores, Connecticut. Do not abbreviate UConn. Under your education, list your degree. For most students, it will be listed as a Bachelor of Arts or a Bachelor of Science. Following that, you'll include your major. You will also list the month and year you will intend to graduate. Students who are undecided on a major or in the ACES program can write Bachelor of Arts, undeclared major, and then the month and year that you intend to graduate. Underneath, you can write emerging academic interests and also a major that you're thinking about selecting. If you have a minor, concentration, or a track, you can also list those out underneath your degree. If you're in the honors program, list your degree and write honors program underneath. Although you do not currently have a GPA, considering adding it next semester if you have a 3.0 or above. To do so, list your GPA out of a 4.0 scale directly underneath the line of your degree. Next to your GPA, you can list out academic awards or scholarships that you may have received. As first-year students, you can list your high school information underneath your UConn information. You'll want to use the same format, but instead of saying Bachelor of Arts or Science, you will say high school diploma. However, now that you are in college, it's important to remember that your high school information should be removed from your resume by junior year. The experience section of your resume is where you can list different paid and unpaid experiences such as part-time jobs and internships. For each experience, there are several components you must include. Start off by listing the name of the company or organization that you're a part of. Then list the city and state where they're located. You'll then include your job title and the month and year that you started and ended the position. If you're currently still working at that job, you can write the start month and year and then write present. The activities section of your resume has a similar format to the experience section, but it's in a separate category. Here you can list clubs, organizations, and other experiences that you've been involved with on and off campus. After you have the basic information written for each experience and activity, you will write bullet point statements underneath. In general, each experience should have between 1 to 5 bullet point statements depending on the level of involvement and how relevant the position is to what you're applying to. You will learn more about bullet point statements later in the presentation. All experiences within each section should be organized in reverse chronological order. That means that you will list your most recent experience directly below the section heading and then continue listing experiences ending with the oldest position. This allows employers to see what you've been currently involved in and also highlights your background. Another section to include on your resume is the skills section. These are different from the skills that you've listed in your objective statement. They should be hard skills, which are skills that are specific to teachable abilities that can be defined and measured, such as the ability to use software programs or speak a foreign language. In Wiley's high school resume, you can see that she listed transferable skills like time management, teamwork, and communications. These skills should not be included in your skills section. She also listed all of her skills together. We recommend that you separate your measurable skills into different categories such as language, computer, or laboratory. You may also use descriptors before each section such as proficient in basic knowledge or fluent in. Do not say that you're proficient in a program or fluent in a language that you're not. Regardless of your major, it's important to put computer skills on your resume, even if they're general programs like Microsoft Word and PowerPoint. Skills will vary from each major's industry and field, so be sure to find out what skills are needed for your specific area of interest. The interest section of your resume is optional. However, it can give an employer an idea of who you are outside of work and school. You might even have a similar interest as someone who's interviewing you, which can spark a conversation during your interview. Be sure to include things that are unique to you. Avoid interests like going on social media or watching TV. Now that Wiley has updated the different sections of her resume and organized each section in reverse chronological order, let's talk about formatting. When creating your resume, you want to make a good first impression. It should be neatly organized and follow some general guidelines. Typically, your resume should be 1 page in length, though some graduate schools and industries may require longer. Your margins should be between a ½ inch to 1 inch wide on all sides. The font size should be between 10.5 and 12, while your name can be larger and bolded at the top of your resume. If you'd like, you can also make your section headings larger. In every experience on your resume, you should include the core 4. This includes the name of the company or organization, the position title, the start and end date, and the location. You'll want to make sure that when you format each experience on your resume, you use bolds and italics consistently throughout the document. In other words, if you bold the company and italicize your position in the first experience, you'll want to continue formatting every experience following the same. You should also include a professional font such as Times New Roman and avoid using unprofessional fonts such as Comic Sans or ones that will be difficult to read. Continuing with general guidelines of creating a resume, avoid using tables or grids. Additionally, do not use templates. While templates may look nice, they're pre-designed with grids and fonts, which makes adding content in the future very challenging. Templates also cannot be read by applicant tracking systems, which many large companies use for their applications online. Avoid using abbreviations except for states, industries, technology, or certifications such as CPR. Check your resume many times to make sure that there's no typos in your document. Also, look out for personal pronouns as they should not be included in your resume. Lastly, pay attention to the tense of your experience. For experiences that are still occurring, your action verb should be in the present tense. For those that have ended, should be in the past tense. Now that we've covered the basics of formatting, take this time to review your document for common formatting errors. Upon editing your document for formatting development, watch the next video on developing your bullet point statement.